The worst thing that the Harbingers brought was not the ancients, but the corruption that they spread. It twists and distorts everything it touches. It whispers in the ears of men, and guides their hands toward terrible ends. There does not seem a means to stop it. Our prayers do nothing. Our spells are ineffectual. The awful truth is that the ancients could simply watch as we burn Vera to ash ourselves. The Terror Wraith is a creature of nightmare in the most literal sense. It takes form from those who sleep during a mana storm. Essence made life through the incomprehensibly strong emotions present during these moments. Once it takes its first breath, the Terror Wraith seeks out more prey, desperately hungry for those emotions that created it. It can be killed, but it cannot be stopped, for it is born again the next night. Be as the Terror Wraith, and never stop in your hunt. Avenida followed creation devoutly, and took her charge seriously. When he who groveled snatched her dear friend up in one of those massive tentacles, and ate him in one quick slurp, Aventa wasted no time. She pierced the beast's belly with a lance of golden light, shoved her hand into the entrails, and pulled out her friend's lifeless corpse. She then channeled the energy of creation, bringing his spirit back to his body, and sent him back to the fight. Brother Balmo's mace was a special thing, having been crafted at the God Forge, and blessed by the 7 high priests of creation. It did the kind of dirty work that was necessary in these times. The weapon sheared the flesh of ancients who merely glanced in its direction, and when one of his blows connected, well, the results were gruesome. It would not be enough, he knew, but the Light Pact had set him to his task, and he wanted to do what he could to ensure Vera's survival. Deep in the Fellow Hold, a long-abandoned keep in the western foothills, there is said to be 10 priceless treasures sealed away from mortal eyes. They were left by the ancient wizard king Artrax, and included his staff, his sword, a golden chalice, and his crown. Each of these items, if the provenance is true, could earn a treasure hunter their own kingdom several times over. The Fellow Hold keeps its secrets, however, and none who have ventured into its depths have ever returned. The Star Child stands atop a hill, her dark radiance turning day into night. She points at a small home in the village below her, from which a beam of silvery starlight erupts. A family of 3 dies in that moment. Penance given, penance taken. The village does not ignore her whispers again. In the War of Towers, 2 great armies clashed in a final gambit on the misty fields of Lemlong. Equally matched, Kalar against Kalar. The battle raged on for hours and then days. Neither gave quarter, and neither considered surrender, even in the face of massive losses. Fire rained down from the sky as mages from each side sought to gain the upper hand. Friend and foe alike burned alive in their armor, and still the battle continued. In the end, only 50 survivors lived to tell the tale, and both sides were conquered shortly afterwards by an Empyrean empire biding their time. In this episode, we learned that the ancients could not control the corruption. The Terror Wraith seems to be a creature created by corruption, and that the goddess of creation grants the power to revive. We also learned of the existence of the Light Pact and Fellow Hold, and were introduced to the Star Child and learned of a great battle between 2 towers. Stay tuned for week 2 of Apocalypse lore by subscribing below. What mysteries await us next week?